Hello, welcome to a special Groundhog Day edition. It is Groundhog Day, the 2nd of February. Welcome to the show. First of all, welcome to a special Groundhog Day edition of the pre-weekend kickoff. And if you haven't tuned in, or if you haven't noticed, if you haven't heard the news, I'll tell you the news about whether or not Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow today or not. But before we do any of that, just want to make sure that everything's working on your end. You're not having any technical issues. You can see and hear me just fine. Please, I need for you to confirm that in the chat before we go any further, because if you miss, I don't want to be to blame if you miss anything. So please, before I say another word, please confirm in the chat that everything's working on your end. You can see me, you can hear me, you're not having any technical issues whatsoever. And as I continue to stall, we'll just say that I've been on the road, and I've been on the road a lot, actually. It seems like you can hear the audio, you cannot see the video. So Brian, according to what you're saying, you can hear the audio, you cannot see the video. If that's the case, you may want to refresh your page. Oh, you can see the video. Okay, that's good. You can hear the audio, you can see the video. I know my mom just tuned in. And Laura, I know we have Laura on also. Laura, how are things going on your end? Do you have audio? And do you have video? Is everything working on your end? Please let me know in the chat. Okay, that means we're just waiting on Laura and maybe Dave to give me some visual confirmation that everything is set on their end. They can see and hear the video. Okay. Audio and video work. Okay. Now we can go on, and I can confirm, drum roll please, today, on Groundhog Day, Punxsutawney Phil did not, I repeat, did not see his shadow, which means, congratulations, we have an early spring in order. Now, according to what I hear on the news, his predictions are sometimes 30 to 40% accurate. So, welcome Elizabeth and Alex. You just missed the news that today on Groundhog Day, Punxsutawney Phil did not see a shadow, which means it's an early spring. Now, I was just about to explain to the listeners that his predictions, according to meteorology and news reports, are only 30 to 40% accurate. So we best watch the weather reports around your area, and they can change from place to place. So I think the last time that we had a no shadow I'm trying to look here. I think it was back in 2016. I think it was back around 2016, 2017. I'm looking at this website. Yes, in 2020, actually. So 4 years ago, before the pandemic. Now, keep in mind, the last time the groundhog did not see a shadow and predicted an early spring was back in 2020, and that was before the pandemic. So that could be a cautionary sign, or that could be improvement to come. We can only tell. And I found out this news while I was down in the southern tier, the Elmira corning region. I find that to be my second home now, given the number of jobs that I've been sent down to do down there. I've also been sent down to all the way to Jamestown. This is the old or new. This is probably the new Groundhog. I don't really. That's interesting to look up. Trying to get that information here. In 2022. Oh, wait a minute. There were reports that in 2016, Punxsutawney Phil was found dead due to being frozen. Don't really know. What you look at the webs, trying to find reputable websites to go to. Here. It's interesting. That's interesting, Elizabeth, that you say February 2nd represents the exact midpoint between winter and spring. That's interesting. I mean, yes, it starts on December 21st, and then January. Yep, that makes the most sense because spring actually begins this year on March 19th. We're trying to find information about trying to find information online about a certain groundhog that was that died. So actually, there was another groundhog. You know, Punxsutawney Phil isn't the only groundhog in existence. There was one named Milltown Mel who died back in 2022. So that wasn't Punxsutawney Phil. That was one of his colleagues. Anyway, while Mon checks, we'll get back to the music, and coincidentally, coming up, the next song that I have in my playlist will be featured in the Super Bowl. She's known around these parts to be the dating Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs, who did make it into the Super Bowl. More on that later. With the one and only Taylor Swift. This is me featuring Brendan Urie of Panic at the Disco. And while this song plays, I'll take a look at your comment, Elizabeth, in the chat. That sounds very interesting. We'll be back with more right here on the pre-weekend Kickoff Groundhog Day edition. Pre-weekend Kickoff Groundhog And that folks was Anna Music. That folks was Anna Music's Pipe Dream. Now, the reason why I played this tonight was not only is it because it's Aunt Janet's favorite, and it's probably a favorite of a lot of the listeners, but I just learned over this past weekend that the OCC percussionists over at the percussionists over at OCC, Onondaga Community College, where I was a student for 2 years before I transferred to SU, they do a percussion suite reunion every year, and they get together, they put on a concert, and we play a lot of great music. And interestingly enough, the song that you just heard, that video, we're going to play this year. How about that? I'm going to play the marimba part, and that was the, if you saw in the video, that was the conveyor belt of blocks and keys that went along there. That actually represented the marimba. So as you can see, there were a lot of interesting runs in there. There were special interesting runs in there that now I'm going to have to go back and practice. So I actually wanted us, back when I was a student at OCC, I actually wanted us to play that before the school year was over. But however, they had other priorities. They had other music that they wanted to play. And so, and I didn't realize they had the Percussion Suite Reunion. Now, they started this Percussion Suite Reunion thing back about, 11 years ago in 2013. And so I didn't go to the first one. I went to the second one, the one in 2014. Thought they were having a fun time, and we got to play a lot of great music. So I've been participating in the Percussion Suite Reunion events since 2014, obviously, because due to COVID and the pandemic and other things that the percussion staff over there, including Dr. Rob Ridge, who is I believe he's the music department director over at OCC, or the music department chair over at OCC now. He is one of the big things about this. It is very fun for every participant. However, I can realize some parts are going to be hard. Some parts are difficult. A lot of my fellow percussionists, they've actually gone on and done careers. They've mostly gone on to become music teachers at various school districts around the state, and so they've stuck with it at a professional level, whereas I have only really done this as a hobby, even though I do love my passion for music, and I've found other ways, including this station, to take advantage of my love for music. So yes, I am very excited. This is 15 years in the making, and didn't think this would actually happen, but I'm so glad that it will. Anyway, we're going to move on now to the show and tell portion of the show that I usually do. And if you have clips or pictures that you would like to send, please do. This was from the hotel that I was staying at last night down in Elmira, as I was trying to saddle two different jobs, one in Sydney and the other one all the way in Jamestown. I usually try to take these pictures with 4 different angles in mind: the view out the window, the view from the window, the view from the front door, the bedside point of view, and that's just about out here. You could see this was taken after Punxsutawney Phil announced an early spring with no shadow, and this is just a configuration page that I have to take for work. Now we're going to move on to something completely different. So, being the 25th anniversary of my almost near-death experience, this is the place that I was brought to, the Upstate University Hospital, where this was just before Plane Day 25 years ago, back in 1999, after I suffered the horrific. After I didn't suffer tonsillectomy, we underwent a tonsillectomy procedure without realizing that I had factor 11 hemophilia, and that caused a traumatic experience not just for me, but the entire family. I was working down there. This is the backside, actually, of Upstate University Hospital, and here you can see the backside, the hospital right over here. But I want to bring your attention over to this building also, because in 2012, Mom introduced me to this building called the Weisgarten Hall, which is part of the academic section of Upstate Medical University. So, University Hospital is run by the State University of New York, Upstate Medical University, which actually features a medical school and provides students the opportunity to get actual degrees in medicine. And up on the top floor of this building here used to be a cafe. Don't know if it's there anymore. And then this extension connects to another building. So this extension was added in 1999, and then this was a more recent addition that I believe, I want to say, opened in 2018 or 2019. And I've been fortunate to go in both of those buildings. However, after COVID, I had a feeling that, and they did close their doors to the general public. Don't know if they've relaxed those restrictions after COVID. Oh yes, I actually did write a percussion piece that I created called The Journey to East Africa, which I did compose, and we performed that in October of 2008. We can try to pull, we're going to try to pull that. I'll try to pull that video after we come out of the break. But thank you for reminding me, and and we also want to keep the bumper or dumper segment. We want to keep that for the end of the show. So we have a lot more to get to, and if you want to interact, please feel free to use the chat. And coming up next is Jelly Roll with Need a Favor right here on 4 for Living Radio. Roll with Need a Favor right here on 4 for Living Radio. And that is probably a song that a lot of you have not heard before because I just put it in, but this song actually goes back to 2012, 2013. Late 2012, 2013 is when it started take off on the charts and got its radio airplay. One memory that I'll share about the song that you just heard before we go on to the next part of the show is probably all of you know that I'm a game creator, and the first game that I created was a musical trivia game called MQ, Musical Quotient, and I think this was just before the spring semester started, so I want to say that this was January 2013. I know Elizabeth, you were down doing your service project in, I think it was it wasn't in Africa, I think it was down in New Orleans or something, and I had the idea of inviting your friends over, for example. I know we had Grace, Nicole, Kaylee, and I think that was Sharon, that was just about it. We came to this song, and I don't know exactly what the category was, but it was one of those weird categories that either had to do with a graphical image or some sort of synonym. Nobody got it on the first try. Grace was the only one who came up with the title after the second chorus or after the verse, and after it said Little Talks, which is the correct title. It's by a band named Of Monsters and Men. I was trying to go to help the players guess the artist. I was trying to compare it. One of the hints that I gave was it sounds like the author of Mice and Men, of Monsters and Men. I know that's a stretch. John Steinbeck. So unfortunately, that didn't really go very well. But that is the main memory that I had when listening to this song. Speaking of music that I like, music that I've created, I'm going to show you now the music video. The video of us. This is the OCC percussion ensemble back in October of 2008, playing a percussion piece that I composed myself. It's called The Journey to East Africa. So please enjoy and let me know what you think towards the end.
Today's competition I'm real excited about. For those of you who didn't know me, you know that the idea of music majors making music is something I think is a good thing. So today is a good deal. We've got a full bill, so I'll stop talking and we'll start playing.
Yes, this was an original composition by me. And I haven't written anything original since then, or at least I've been trying to arrange other stuff that other people have done. Uh, I really the only original composition that I wrote after that. Now, keep in mind that was 2008. The only original piece I wrote after that was something for the Global Game Jam up at Syracuse University. I don't know where I have, if I still have a file of the original music to that, but each team, we were broken down into teams, and yep, we were broken down into teams, and each team was responsible for creating some sort of game, and we happened to work on a computer game, and the theme of the Global Game Jam was the heartbeat, and we had to, so we came up with a computer game, a trivia game about the environment, and we called it the Green Dungeon. If I still have access to that music track, I will try to play that next on the show. We are now going to. Okay, let's see. We're now going to end the show like we normally do with the bump it, or I should have. Now I'm calling it the bumper or dumper segment. And for those of you who are not familiar with how this works, I'm going to play 3 songs, and you vote on whether it's a bumper, you like it, or it's a dumper, you think it belongs in the trash. And so we are going to do 3 songs, and let me just put the other one in. We got 3 more here. There are actually a lot of new songs that came out that I thought we needed 3 rounds, but here we go, and please don't judge me. Some of them will pass. I have a feeling that some will pass, others will fail. So we're going to begin with Jenny from the block herself, Jennifer Lopez, Can't Get Enough. I heard this one coming back from the Albany, coming back from the Glens Falls region. I should have taken pictures from Broad Albin, but I didn't. And this is called Can't Get Enough. So voting begins right after I start the next song. And so bumper or dumper. Good luck, and may the best one win. Good luck, and may the best one win. And thank you again for participating in... Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Yes, thank you again for participating in this week's edition of Bumper or Dumper. I want to give everyone an opportunity. There's a bonus involved, at least for the last song. Here's a bonus trivia question that I want everyone to... Let's see, the first person to answer this will get this correct. Let's see if I can get the first person to answer this question correctly. The chorus, or at least the first verse of the chorus of the last song that you voted on, which, congratulations, all got unanimous bumps. Who can be the first person to tell me the name of the older song that was sampled or was regenerated in that last song? If you can tell me, you win if you can tell me the title and or the artist is bonus points. The artist was also included if you were watching the video. One of the original artist was featured as one of the collaborators in the last song. But I'm looking for the title of that earlier song that you may have heard that may have sounded familiar in that last song. And if you're the first to tell me that would be great. Even if you're not the first to tell me that, I'm curious to know if you picked that up, because the last song that we all just voted on has a reference back to quite an oldie. I think goes back to at least the early 1990s, actually. And the artist who originally performed that is pretty old. A hint I'll give you is he was also involved with another band called The Police. And so if anybody can venture a guess as to what that earlier song was, again, you would have heard it primarily in the first verse and in the chorus, the verses and the chorus. Can anybody throw out a guess out there? Does anybody know? Anybody? Does anybody have a guess? Or have I stumped all? Or if no? I'm sorry, that's not correct. No, that is not correct. Really, I didn't. Nope, it's not Green Space Band Group. Anybody at all? Nope. It's not Don't Stand So Close to Me. Come on, try guessing again. Try guessing again. I'm surprised that nobody actually knows this. This is unbelievable. Well, it's okay. We're gonna play the original song. We're gonna close out the show with the original song that the last one interpolates, and I'm sure once you hear it, it'll probably come back to you. But until then, Mazel Tov, and we will see you on the other side. Please, even though I may be... Nope. Oh, yes, kind of, but not really. Oh, yes, I'll give it. So even though I'll be signing off, I'll still be monitoring the chat, and once we hit the last song, I'll see if what your reactions tell me, if you remember it, or see if you can make the connection. We will see you then.